Now, this video might get me cancelled, or at least earn me a few angry comments, but it's time we had some real talk about the state of Marvel Strike Force, and on the flip side, the state of the community. Now, this isn't everyone in the community, but as is the way with everything these days, those who have the loudest voices tend to lead the pack, and when they are negative, well, as the saying goes, negativity breeds negativity. So overarchingly, the community as a whole seems negative. We seem to complain about things before we have the full picture. Then when the full picture comes to light, we make it out like it's obvious the devs don't know what they're doing, and they have only done something like a flash event because it fixes the issue they have made. I've been guilty of this in the past, but taking a step back, remembering why I play the game, and focusing on the fun has helped me think more clearly about the game. And so firstly, I want to take a look at the recent announcement about the Annihilation Raid, and then we'll take a look at some of the initial impressions that came out about it. So firstly, is this raid really that bad? Is the sky really falling? Well, honest answer to this is we don't know. We haven't seen how this raid works or how it's going to shake the game up. But one thing I will say is that the blog they released for it, they have tried to make it as clear as they can. Even to the point of Community Manager Pathfinder releasing this image here, which is showing us exactly how the raid will work. From this image, we can also use the verbiage from the blog about the Annihilation Raid as to how it will work going forwards. And here is a little bit of what I think is going to happen when we get brand new teams come out and what the state of the raid is going to look like. Also, this raid is clearly and evidently keeping to the words that was said in an interview between Ryan Jacobson, the general manager, and Rich Waters, the game director.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think all of the features we're looking at right now, when we're figuring out what kind of gameplay we put in them, we really are thinking about how are you playing it. Is it something that you're just trying to do quickly each day? Like raids are a check-in. Raids aren't supposed to be deeply thoughtful experience.
And this is shown by the fact that we only have 8 nodes per player to do. And with the rate of energy that we get in the game, the raid energy over time rate that we get, you'll be doing those 8 nodes in a one and done. Next up, I want to talk about chapter currency. Again, this is another sky is falling situation, and all because the big numbers weren't the same as the previous chapter currency. We didn't have the big injection like we did when they released Intel. But what we have to remember here is that the antimatter store was not a new store. It was just really a shift in currency. The Intel store and the antimatter store did also have a period of crossover, so we didn't really need that massive influx of currency like we did at the start of the Intel store to keep us being able to buy things that we would be interested in, because they were also available in the Intel store. And it's posts like these from Reddit, some of which were posted within the first 3 days of the new currency being available, that were really jumping the gun. Now, I've been logging the data for antimatter, and I would like to say that as an engaged player, we are getting some really good, steady income of antimatter.
Grinding hard, no cash to spend, free to play till the very end, logging in to claim my daily.
And while we're talking about chapter currency, I would like to give a huge kudos to Scopely. They have fully kept by their words about chapter currency. We have been earning a vast majority of it from the command center, which was the change that they said they were going to make for Act 2. And they aren't selling the chapter currency. Again, this is another promise that was made to us right at the very beginning when Ryan Jacobson and Pathfinder sat down to talk about the Age of Annihilus. So let's talk about the state of the game, and personally I think the game is in a pretty good place. Is it perfect? No, but nothing's ever perfect. What it does show is the game has places to go, places to expand and evolve, and I'm really excited about this as a player. Now, let's talk quickly about teams. In the 1070 days I've been playing this game, I don't think I have seen the game in this good a place where teams are concerned. If we break down the team starting from August last year, we had Annihilators. This team was great, and some of the members I'm sure will be around in the meta for a long time. Endgame Thanos being the most standout of those, with his buff decay mechanics, even trauma, which is something we had never seen before. We also had our first character in Gore, who could remove battlefield effects without placing his own down, which was absolutely unique, as that was previously only something that a character with a battlefield effect would be able to do. All these new mechanics that the dev team has worked on into the game, and they continue to work new and in some way interesting mechanics into each and every team. On the back of this, we had Night Stalkers, and if I was to choose a team from 2024 that was my favourite, I think this team would definitely be it. A Mystic Raid team that weren't just good in raids, but in every game mode because of their powerful speed mechanics. We also had the very first Battle World team in Astral, and although the game mode itself really didn't live up to the expectations of the community, the team itself is still really powerful, and I'm expecting it to still be useful going into the next iteration of Battle World, where we will be fighting Sentry. And 2025 was no different. We have had some amazing teams in the Vigilante, the Fantastic Four MCU, Liberty, and with the release of the Hellfire Club, which is also retweaking Immortal X-Men and Accursed with Azazel and Rachel Summers. This is proving that the devs are looking at feedback and data and continually improving teams without having to errata their abilities. Now, I did say Battle World 1 didn't quite stick the landing very well, but one game mode that I think has definitely stuck the landing is Danger Room. This has been innovative, fun, and I'm always awaiting its return. Do I play it continuously though once I've reached my difficulty 10 run? Unfortunately, not. But that is more down to, I feel that once you have beaten the game mode at its highest difficulty, your experience is only going to get worse. And hear me out here. Because of the nature of the game mode, you have to earn the danger tokens to equip mods. But once you have enough mods that you can complete a D10 run, then any extra tokens you earn aren't going to do anything but make the game mode easier for you. And I do like a challenge. Apart from that, we've had Negative Zone, which in all honesty needed one thing changing to it to make it great, and that was for it not to be tied to a leaderboard event. But I really like the idea of a pocket dimension where you got your first time rewards and your second time rewards, but then the node rewards stayed. And if you wanted to, it was up to you as the player. If you wanted to run it time and time again for those node rewards, I think they really should return something like that in the future. Raids being just a check-in does sadden me a bit, but the game has evolved into a place where as long as you have the correct team built to the correct level, the raid is solved. I personally remember when I first started where we could use teams like Gamma and Darkhold in the Mystic and Bio sections of the Doom raid, and that our skill section was made up of a 3-piece team in Secret Avengers and some plug-and-play characters like Shang-Chi. It really made the game feel different. But with all the new PvE content that they have produced for this game, do we really need raids to be like that any longer? Areas where I feel they could improve, however, from a PvE perspective is towers. This game mode needs a big old rehaul. They've added floors to the bottom of the tower which are much more new player friendly, and this is a massive win. But there are certain sections that need changing, even if it is for the short term. For example, team tags like Asgardians being on some of the nodes really needs to change. And we also really need some new higher level floors added, as the highest level floor we have is floor 60, and that is the Mephisto floor. This is 2 mythic characters behind where we are in the meta and could really do with being updated. Now let's talk PvP. War this year feels like it has been permanently moved to 2 wars a week, and while this might upset some of the more hardcore war-based alliances, I see this as a big win, and not only from a time perspective, although it is appreciated that I get that 1 war back per week. But for me, it means I can participate to my fullest in each war, each week, and really feel like I'm contributing to my alliance's war efforts. Cosmic Crucible, is really only a game mode I've been taking more seriously this year. I still think this game mode is great, and if the developers could get some more of the creative rooms working as they should be, I don't think there should be much for us to complain about. I did actually like the fact that the current season of Cosmic Crucible, before they changed the rules, actually showed the new team had some weaknesses. And while I understand this might not have been great for sales for Scopely, as a player, it's actually going to help you learn more about the team, and this is something I personally enjoy about playing the game. It's learning the teams and learning their kits. And next up, let's talk about what they're doing community-wise. Promo codes, and lots of them, equal wins. And whilst we're at it, we have a brand new promo code for you today, Hellfire Fits, all in capitals. Enter this on the player gift section of the Marvel Strike Force website. Link is in the description down below to snag yourself 100 L4 training modules and 150 power cores. Twitch drops, which is a massive win. This shows that they are supporting the content creators who are making content for this game. And even the community activities like the Counting Corner and the recent Hellfire Fits Gala, which is where that promo code has just come from, have been great and show they are trying to involve the community. And let's not also forget the community votes, of which one of the community votes we were able to pretty much vote for the entire team. So in summary, here's the bottom line. The community is acting too quickly before all the facts are in. The Annihilation Raid could be a positive change, but we won't know until we see it in action. Currency and character releases are in much better shape than many think. The game has strong new teams, some solid modes, but some areas are still in need of polish. It's not perfect, but it's not collapsing either. The key is to focus on the parts of the game that are fun to you and keep perspective on the rest. So what are your thoughts on the state of the game and how the community is reacting? I'd love to know in the comments down below. And if you want to look at some more content from me, then why not click one of these videos right here.